what interested me was the level of the obsession of his ability to throw away all restraint and ultimately keep pushing the edge further and further and further. How much more can he get? If he can get $1 million here, maybe he can get 20 million and 30 million. And I think it's interesting too that with no restraint, the civility goes, and having that power. I wonder. It's a story of. I wonder if it's a story about something that's dark in all of us. Mm-hmm. If we had the ability to behave certain ways with absolute power, and what would happen. So that's something that I've always been fascinated by, and I wanted to handle it as how should I say, frankly as possible, so that it wouldn't be a matter of making comments on him and his bad behavior, but actually putting the audience into the mindset of that behavior and that mentality, and see where it goes. I think the main challenge with the character, of course, is to be as true to the character as possible, which means that if some people don't like him, well, that's the story, you know. Can people still enjoy being in his company, so to speak, for that amount of time, and still dislike him? Maybe. That's the charm. You think a person, a villain, or a person with that kind of ability, or I'm not saying the actual Jordan Belfort. I don't know him. He's somewhat different from the film, but the charm is the danger. The charm is the danger. See, and before you, that's the confidence man, so to speak. It's an old ploy. They used to call it the confidence game. They take your trust, they make you confide in them, and then they betray you. I think what he had was the ability to explore every aspect of it. I mean, just go, you know, and I'd be able to rein as much as possible, him and the rest together, try to keep everybody in the same frame. But no, it was really a matter of not being afraid to go to places that normally other actors wouldn't do. That was the thing, and also to push it, to keep pushing, because no matter what we did, quite honestly, it's only scratching the surface of what really goes on. So, in many different places, not just Wall Street. So, you know, it's liking the audacity of the character. Him saying, "I love to do this. I love to do that." Using language which is offensive, a profanity or an obscenity in thinking, and I think that was kind of interesting for us. Also, it's the actor. Mm-hmm. The actor. Jonah, again, the same thing. He was able to take, from what Terry wrote in the script, from the book, or otherwise, he was able to take it, and I'd say, you know, in this line, what if he talks a little about, you know, a little more about marrying his cousin, et cetera, and he'd open it up, and he'd say one or two things, that's a good one, let's use this, and I'd sort of rewrite it with him, and then Terry would take a look, he'd rewrite. And so with Jonah, again, once he had that stance, once he had that attitude, particularly in the scene in the bar where he has the yellow sweater tied around in a sort of preppy way, and he's got this attitude, you know. Once he had that physical presence that way, I knew he could just go. We shot that very quickly, worked based on rehearsals. So I knew he could move real fast with that. And what I mean by that is I knew he could delve deeper and deeper and deeper, and be the provocateur in a way. And one person did one thing, he did another, and pushed and pushed and pushed. Then you had the other guys in there too, the other men and the women. His wife, Hildy, and there were no lines for her, you know. So all this stuff comes together with the two of them, Margot, all of them. So I just felt really comfortable. I expected excitement every day when I saw them. I was excited to see them. Sometimes a little tired. And I didn't know what they had in up their sleeves that morning. But it was really always incredible to particularly in some of the more outlandish or the most disturbing scenes, which actually still sometimes are disturbingly funny.